up as a kid. All a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from.
The AFC West is a division that shouldn't really be all that hard to predict who's going to end up winning. I think the Kansas City Chiefs end up winning the AFC West this year. Now, the AFC West is going to be one of the more competitive divisions, if not the most competitive division in the NFL, because the Denver Broncos have improved a lot. The Los Angeles Chargers, I think they're going to be pretty good. I think a lot of people are really sleeping on the Los Angeles Chargers this year, and also the Las Vegas Raiders as well. They're going to be pretty competitive, but I'm still rocking with the Kansas City Chiefs to win this division. The Kansas City Chiefs still, in my opinion, they have the best team. They still have the best coaching staff in this division, the best quarterback, and some people can say that the Chiefs are going to take a step back defensively. You can make that argument because some people are going to be like, oh, look who the Kansas City Chiefs lost on defense. But they do get Juan Thornhill back. Now, for those of you guys who don't remember Juan Thornhill is like one of the more productive young players that we had in the NFL as a rookie, and he ended up suffering and having his season cut short due to an injury. So now he's going to be coming back fully healthy. I think the Kansas City Chiefs, the linebacking core is pretty good. And then up front, you're going to have Frank Clark. You're going to have Chris Jones. So you're going to be able to get after the passer. You still got the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. So, I mean, you still have a pretty good defense. Now, will this defense be top 10, top 5? Nah, it's not going to be top 5. Would it be top 15? Maybe, or I think at worst, this Kansas City Chiefs defense will be top 20. But I don't think this Kansas City Chiefs defense is going to have that big of a drop-off. Now, offensively, I mean, they basically have the same offense that they had last season. The only difference is that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to end up being the RB1 in Kansas City, the rookie out of LSU, who the Kansas City Chiefs took in the first round of this past year's NFL draft. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to have a pretty good impact when it comes to this Kansas City Chiefs offense. Not only just run the football, but what he's able to do in the passing game. He's also very hard to bring down. Like, he kind of has like the archetype of like a Maurice Jones-Drew. Like, he's kind of like small in stature, but he's kind of a little bit big, even though he's undersized. Well, I wouldn't say he's undersized. It's not really like a undersized thing for a halfback position. But although he's a little bit short, he's still like very broad, and he's kind of big for his size as well. So I think that he reminds me a lot of Maurice Jones-Drew. I think he may be a better pass catcher out of the backfield than Maurice Jones-Drew. But I mean, that's who Clyde Edwards-Helaire reminds me a lot of, because when you get in the open field, it's really hard to bring down Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man. He's like he's like really stoutly built, man. Like, although he's kind of short, he's not really that tall. Like, he's kind of bulky, man. So he's really hard to bring down in the open field. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man, I think he could be a candidate in the finalists for Offensive Rookie of the Year this year. Then you still have one of the best wide receiving cores in the NFL. You got Tyreek Hill. You got Mecole Hardman, who a lot of people feel can have a breakout year. You got Sammy Watkins. You got Demarcus Robinson. You got Travis Kelce, who is probably the best tight end in the NFL. You still have a pretty solid offensive line. The offensive line may be a little bit of a concern. That's where a lot of the concern lies with this Kansas City Chiefs offense. You still got Andy Reid. You got Eric Bieniemy, who probably this is going to be his last year calling plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, because I believe that he should have a head coaching gig next season. And if Eric Bieniemy is still the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2021 and he doesn't get a head coaching job, then I think it may be something wrong with the NFL not hiring Eric Bieniemy, man, because he led a really prominent Kansas City Chiefs offense. He's a big reason for Patrick Mahomes' rise to dominance in the NFL. Then we also got to talk about Patrick Mahomes, man. Like, Patrick Mahomes just signed his mega extension, his 10-year, like, $500 million deal, man. So the Kansas City Chiefs, I think, are going to win this division, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. Like, I think they are going to get in some really tightly contested games this year in this division. Like, the Raiders are going to be very solid. The Denver Broncos, I already told you guys, if you guys been watching the channel for like the last 3-4 months or the whole entire offseason, you know I've been really high on the Denver Broncos, especially Drew Lock. What Drew Lock was able to do in his like first 5 starts for the Denver Broncos is a lot to, he showed me a lot of promise in the first 5 games. So I'm trusting Drew Lock this year. I think Drew Lock could be a dark horse candidate for NFL MVP. Then you got the Los Angeles Chargers. I already made a video about the Los Angeles Chargers last week, talking about how you shouldn't sleep on the Los Angeles Chargers. Like, just because Tyrod Taylor isn't the more flashy option at the quarterback position, they have a really solid team around them. The offensive line should be improved. The wide receiver position is pretty good. You got Mike Williams. You got Keenan Allen there. You also got Hunter Henry at tight end. Then you got Austin Eckler in the backfield at halfback, who can also catch the ball out the backfield as well. Kind of like a similar version of Christian McCaffrey. Then the defense. I already said this earlier that the Chargers on paper had the best defense in the NFL. You got Linval Joseph. You also got Derwin James. You're going to have Nazir Ali or Rayshawn Jenkins at the safety spot. Then you also got Casey Hayward. You got Desmond King. You also got Chris Harris Jr., who is one of the more underrated cornerbacks in the NFL from this past decade. So, I mean, this division, I believe Kansas City will win, but I don't think it's going to come easy. Like, I think they're going to have some really tightly contested games. I think they're going to get pushed a little bit more than what they have been able to do in the last couple of seasons, because the AFC West, ever since the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl in 2015, it hasn't quite been the same. But now, this division is going to be really competitive. I think the Denver Broncos, I think they are back. I think they're going to be this year's Buffalo Bills team from last season. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. The Chargers, the Raiders. So, I mean, I'm taking Kansas City to win this division. I think it's going to be a little bit tough for them compared to how easy this division has been to win the last couple of years, because this division has been really down, man. Like, this division has kind of went downhill. Like, this division used to be really competitive back in 2013, 2014, but after the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl, like, it pretty much has been Kansas City and then everybody else. So I'm really excited about watching the AFC West this year. This AFC West division, man, it's going to be really entertaining to watch. Like, this may be the more competitive division in all of the NFL. Like, everybody's talking about the NFC West with the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Cardinals. Everybody talking about the AFC North, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals are going to be a little bit competitive. But this division is also going to be in the mix for that title of who has the toughest division in the NFL. So, I mean, Kansas City is going to win this one. I think they have a good chance to repeat as Super Bowl champions. They're looking to become the next dynasty, looking to become the next New England Patriots. But, I mean, when you talk about the New England Patriots were in the AFC East division that pretty much was terrible for the whole entire Patriots' reign of terror on the NFL. So it's going to be a little bit harder for the Kansas City Chiefs to become the dynasty that the Patriots were, given how tough their division is going to be. The Broncos are trending up. I really like the direction that the Chargers could be heading in. The Las Vegas Raiders, we don't really know how that could all unfold and things like that. But, I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, pencil me in for having the Chiefs winning this division. If the Kansas City Chiefs don't win the AFC West, I would be extremely shocked. So if there was a division that I felt more confident in, it would have to be the Kansas City Chiefs winning the AFC West. So I'm taking Kansas City to win the AFC West this year.